Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I hope you are really well. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Heather and I'm a professional viola player living and working in the UK primarily, and I like to make videos just all about freelance life, freelance musician life in general, pro musician life, kind of lifting the veil on some things that I feel just need to be talked about more. There are so many things in this industry that people just either expect you to know or feel like it's some kind of rite of passage to figure out, and I just think that that's a kind of toxic mindset, and so I want to make videos that will hopefully just be helpful, potentially a little bit entertaining, and yeah, I really need to come up with a proper intro. Today I wanted to talk about planning practice because for me this has been a complete game changer. When I don't have a specific goal to aim for, so like an audition or even just rehearsals or going into a new orchestra, something to kind of scare me a little bit, planning is the best motivator for me. I've spoken about it before that I have like a weekly planner that I write everything down in, love to tick off a to-do list. And for me, if I write practice in that, that's like kind of super intimidating, and I'm like, oh, it's kind of like this hard work and it's a lot of effort and I don't really know what I'm practicing for anyway, and I just kind of lose the motivation for it. However, if I write plan practice, that's okay. I can do that whilst I'm watching a nice YouTube video or something. It's fairly chill. And then by the time that I have planned out my practice, I'm actually excited to do it because I've thought, oh, I could play that and I could work on that, and I can't really do that yet, but I'd really like to improve it. And the nerd in me starts kind of getting excited. So, like I said, it's just been a complete game changer for me, which is why I want to talk about it, because I think for a lot of people, planning practice just sounds like the most horrendous thing ever. And I understand, and this won't be for everybody, but I really do urge you, if you are struggling for motivation at the moment, particularly because there's not a lot of work going on, so it can be difficult to latch onto a really good reason to practice other than the fact that you should, which, let's face it, has not really ever made anyone want to practice, ever. Before we get into the actual how I plan it out, if you have enjoyed this video so far and you like the sound of what my channel is all about, then please do like this video, subscribe to my channel. It makes a massive difference, particularly if you are somebody who regularly watches my videos but maybe aren't subscribed. Please do consider subscribing, because it really does help a channel out, and it's also just super encouraging for the person making the videos if people are enjoying them, and it's just a really easy way of you showing that. So yes, please do like and subscribe, and let's get into how I actually do the thing. Now, please forgive the slightly more vlog style of this. I did try and set my camera up at a good angle so you could see, but I couldn't really, so I'm having to hold it. But here is an example of a practice session that I did on Friday. Now, you may have seen this already if you follow me on Instagram, but I'm just going to take you through it for the purpose of this video. So I split my practice into generally 20-minute segments. As you can see here, I decided to do a 2-hour practice session, and I just kind of do the 120 minutes just because, again, we're splitting it into minutes and that just makes sense in my brain. So the first 20 minutes is always a warm-up for me. I take a long time to warm up. It's just how my body works, and I've had to learn this now. A little bit tricky at auditions, but you know, we manage, and I can definitely do a video on how I warm up prior to auditions if that would be something that is helpful to you. But on this particular day, I wanted to start with basically the basics. And this is something that, again, my current teacher has taught me, is that slow scales. They can teach you pretty much anything about your sound and what you need to improve, intonation, everything. It's just a really good way to get yourself set up and get yourself warming up. And then I do scales with a tuner. This is just to really get my ear really honed in on what I want it to be doing. I find this really helpful. Do not do this though for more than 5-10 minutes, absolute max. You will drive yourself insane. So this is definitely a little and often kind of a practice technique. And then I wanted to do 5 minutes of the Simon Fisher book. Now, this is a book that I have spoken about briefly before when I did the, what's in my case video. This is actually a violin warm-up book, but I have found it absolutely incredible because a lot of the things that he does are sort of slightly more difficult on the viola, and as a violinist as well, I feel like I can say that. So I found this really, really helpful, but a lot harder than I was anticipating, quite humbling, and yes, very effective. And then I finish off with vibrato exercises. My vibrato is very much still a work in progress. It's the main technical thing I think that I've really struggled with over the years. So I put it at the end of my warm-up when I am fairly well warmed up by this point, and I just put it in for 5 minutes. I don't fixate on it because the more I fixate on it, the more of a problem it becomes. So, moving on. Then the next 20 minutes are always studies and some Bach. I have decided to work through all of the Bach suites. I want to have played every single Bach suite, every single movement, just to cover them all, because I think we can get so fixated on the preludes and just kind of the standard movements that people know. So obviously I am not very far through at the moment. I've only just started doing that, but I'm really, really enjoying it. Then I'm doing some Kreutzer studies at the moment, and I'm doing this particular one where it has lots of different bowing examples. So that's why one bowing is just the one bowing option for that particular piece. And then just 10 minutes enjoying some Bach. Again, I'm not working on it in any particular detail. I just want to play through them all, and then once I've done that, I'll come back and do some more detail in the months following. Next section, I decided to do excerpts. Now, sometimes I will swap this section with the concerto section over here, but on this particular day I fancy doing my excerpts first. So these are for an audition that I have hopefully coming up soon, hopefully when they when they say we can do things like that, and they're all numbered. So excerpt number 3, excerpt number 13, and then excerpt number 4. This may not seem like a very long time to be spending on each thing, and there's good reason for that. So my main problem when it comes to practicing is that I will get fixated on one thing, spend loads of time on it, and then forget about the others. So I force myself to move on quite quickly. I just find it helps me focus, and I actually get much better practice done in these 5-10 minute slots than I would do in an hour often. So yeah, so that's why I give myself quite short and strict time limits. Okay, then next up we have our Hofmeister. So again, I just kind of split it up into sections. Now this fast, slow, what I mean by that is this fast, slow practice technique. So what that means is that you play a couple of notes, really quickly, and then a couple really slowly, and you swap up kind of the order of that. It's kind of hard to explain, but if I can find the video where I found out about this technique, I will link it down below because it was excellent, and it's done my fast playing a world of good. So yeah, like I said, if I can find that video, I will link it below, but then I wanted to do that there's like a fast bit of semiquavers at the very start, and then there's another section here which is kind of evil, so I'm doing that. And then there is a chord section at the top of the right hand page, which anybody who has played this piece will know about, and I just want to make sure that the tuning is really foolproof basically, and will never do me wrong when I need it to be good. Oh, also the most important practice aid, coffee. Okay, and then we are on to our last 20 minutes. Now, this piece I sometimes put like way over here and do it first, and then sometimes I do it last when I am completely warmed up and I'm a bit more relaxed, I guess. This piece has been my biggest kind of work in progress that I've ever really come across. So yeah, sometimes I switch around where I put it, just depending on the day. But again, I wanted to do this fast, slow kind of practice style on section 6. The edition that I have of the Walton is really, really helpfully kind of split up into chunks, and it has these numbers throughout it, which is really, really helpful. So here again, section 4, sound. We want a beautiful sound here. So that was my main practice focus for this section. And then we come down to notes. Now, here, I actually have not done these notes very, very well, because normally, and I'll talk about this a bit more in a second, but I would always put 3 things that I thought were really good, and then 3 things that I wanted to work on next time. This is a little bit more rambly actually than I would normally do, but I wanted to still show it because, you know, sometimes we do things exactly how we plan them and sometimes we just kind of brain dump. So these were just kind of things that I noticed as I went along. Something I need to work on is that I tend to bump string crossings when I'm going down the strings. And then, oh, here we go. Remember the new viola position for next time. Left arm felt much freer, so that was a good thing. More metronome work, always. And then focus on shifting next time, include in warm-up. So that's just a little reminder for next time. So, and then you will notice that I have highlighted things. Now, this has 2 purposes. One is purely aesthetic. If something looks pretty, then you're more likely going to enjoy using it. And again, just for me, I like things that are pretty. So I do all these kind of sections in green and then all the timings are in blue. It's also really helpful when you're kind of practicing and you're going, right, how long on this next thing? 10 minutes. It just makes it all a little bit easier to navigate. And again, the easier you can make your practice routine, the better. And so then, yeah, everything's all nicely highlighted. And then I just put these little stickers in because they came with some shampoo I bought. And again, they make me very, very happy. And I actually put this one here because that's when I had a break. So I hope that this is just helpful to see just how, you know, how somebody else does it. Your brain may work totally differently to this. There are so many videos out there on bullet journaling and planning and all those kinds of things. But for me, this just really simple, clean, but still, like I said, aesthetic, still looks nice, kind of layout is just perfect for me. And this motivates me to practice. This is something that I have now really settled into as the thing that I really, really enjoy. And also, truth, literally, motto of my life. I really hope you enjoyed this video and that it was helpful for you. Like I said at the beginning, please do like this video and subscribe to my channel if you would like to see more. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye. For those of you who don't know who mine is, who is mine? We all ask ourselves that question. Today, did somebody get all excited about autumn, put on dark nails, and then realise that it's going to turn into summer again? Great.